50 money chunks, 5 stops, a quiz after every stop, and one challenge at the end we want you to answer in the comments. Let's go.
Stop 1. Earning and income, the language of getting paid.
Chunk 1. Make a living. To earn enough through work to support yourself. Not getting rich, just sustaining yourself financially.
Have you ever done work you did not love just to make a living? I worked in a call center for a year after university. It paid the bills. That was the only good thing about it.
She makes a living as a freelance designer. Always make a living. Never earn or do a living.
Chunk 2. Earn a salary. To receive a fixed, regular payment from an employer, usually monthly or annually.
My first salary felt enormous until I saw how quickly rent, food, and transport consumed it. He earns a competitive salary for his industry. British, draw a salary. American, earn a salary.
Chunk 3. Bring home the bacon. To be the primary financial earner, the person whose income keeps everything running.
For 8 months, when my partner was between jobs, I was the one bringing home the bacon. Not just about money, the weight of being the only financial safety net. He has been bringing home the bacon for his family for 15 years, informal but completely natural.
Chunk 4. Live paycheck to paycheck. To spend all your money as soon as you earn it. With nothing left over, no savings, no buffer.
The last week of the month in my early 20s had a very specific texture, checking your balance before every purchase, hoping nothing unexpected came up. Millions of people live paycheck to paycheck despite working full-time.
Chunk 5. Make ends meet. To have just enough money to cover your basic expenses, managing financially, but only barely.
Moving cities, higher rent, lower starting salary. I did the math every single week for 6 months. She worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet. The ends, your income on one side, expenses on the other.
Chunk 6. A steady income. Reliable, consistent earnings. The same amount arriving regularly without dramatic variation.
I once turned down a higher paying contract because the unpredictability terrified me. I chose steady over more. Having a steady income gave her the confidence to take out a mortgage. Always steady income.
Chunk 7. A side hustle. A way of earning extra money outside your main job. Secondary income. Usually entrepreneurial or flexible.
This podcast is essentially a side hustle, something you build alongside your main work because you believe in it. She turned her side hustle into a full-time business within 2 years.
Chunk 8. Work for peanuts. To be paid very little, an insultingly low wage for the effort or skill involved.
My first job out of university. So grateful to have a job that I did not question the salary for almost a year. When I finally looked at market rates, I was working for peanuts. They expected experienced professionals but were only offering peanuts.
Chunk 9. Ask for a raise. To formally request that your employer increase your salary.
I asked once and got exactly what I requested. I had prepared specific data, achievements, market rates, a clear number. My manager said she had been waiting for me to ask. Nobody gives you what you do not ask for. American English, a raise. British English, a pay rise, same meaning.
Chunk 10. Worth every penny. Something cost a lot, but you feel completely satisfied with the value received. Not a single cent was wasted.
A course I took 3 years ago, more than I had budgeted for. It changed the direction of my career. Worth every penny does not begin to cover it. The trip was expensive, but worth every penny. Always, penny, always the complete collocation. Mini word tour, repeat each one out loud.
To make a living, earn enough to support yourself through work.
To earn a salary, receive fixed regular payment from an employer.
To bring home the bacon, be the primary financial provider.
To live paycheck to paycheck, spend everything with nothing left.
To make ends meet. Have just enough to cover basic expenses.
A steady income, reliable, consistent earnings.
A side hustle, secondary income source alongside your main job.
To work for peanuts, be paid far too little for your work.
To ask for a raise, request an increase in your salary.
To worth every penny, expensive but completely justified in value.
Stop quiz. 3 questions. Pause after each one and answer out loud.
Multiple choice. Which sentence is correct? A. She does a living as a nurse. B. She makes a living as a nurse. C. She earns a living as a nurse at the hospital every day. B is the most natural. She makes a living as a nurse. You can say earns a living, but makes a living is far more common. You never do a living.
Fill in the blank. After the surprise medical bill, she realized she had been living too close to the edge. She could not keep living. Paycheck to paycheck. She could not keep living paycheck to paycheck.
Scenario. You have a full-time teaching job. On weekends, you sell handmade jewelry online. What is the jewelry business called? Check your side hustle. The weekend jewelry business is your side hustle.
Stop 2 is about spending and budgeting, including the phrase for when you spend much more than you planned. Coming up,
Stop 2. Spending and budgeting.
the language of everyday money decisions.
Chunk 11. Stick to a budget. To spend only what you planned. To follow your financial plan without going over.
I once made a very detailed budget for a month. Spreadsheet, categories, everything. By day 11, I had overspent in 4 categories. The budget was fine. The discipline was the problem. She always sticks to her budget. Opposite, blow your budget.
Chunk 12. Cut back on. To reduce how much you spend on something. Not stop completely, just use or buy less.
I audited all my subscriptions one evening and canceled half. I had genuinely forgotten some existed. Cutting back on things you do not notice is the easiest money you will ever save. We need to cut back on eating out if we want to save for the holiday. Always followed by the noun you are reducing.
Chunk 13. Impulse buy. A purchase made without planning. In the moment. Driven by desire rather than need.
A jacket. Full price. Walked past a shop, went in to look, came out with a jacket I did not need. Wore it twice. It is still in the wardrobe judging me. I impulse bought 3 things I did not need. Noun, impulse buy. Verb, impulse buy. Hyphenated.
Chunk 14. Break the bank. To cost far more than you can comfortably afford. Most often used in the negative. It won't break the bank.
A great birthday dinner does not have to break the bank. The renovation did not have to break the bank. Much more common in the negative than the positive.
Chunk 15. Tighten your belt. To spend less and live more frugally. To reduce your standard of living because of financial pressure.
A period of forced frugality taught me what I actually valued. When you cannot spend freely, you learn what you genuinely need versus what you had been buying out of habit. Most families had to tighten their belts. Works for individuals, companies, and governments.
Chunk 16. Go Dutch. To split the bill equally. Each person pays for their own share.
A group dinner where everyone ordered very differently. When someone suggested splitting equally, you could feel the energy in the room change immediately. Are we going Dutch or is someone treating tonight? Completely natural in everyday English.
Chunk 17. Cost an arm and a leg. To be extremely expensive. Far more than you expected or wanted to pay.
Car repairs. Every single time. You go in for something small and come out having spent an arm and a leg on things you did not even know needed fixing. The hotel was beautiful, but it cost an arm and a leg.
Chunk 18. Penny pinching. Being excessively careful with small amounts of money. Slightly negative. More miserly than simply frugal.
My friends called me a penny pincher for years because I tracked my spending. Now half of them have asked me for budgeting advice. There is a thin line between penny pinching and financial discipline. Compare frugal, positive, to penny pinching, mildly negative to cheap, definitely negative.
Chunk 19. Get your money's worth. To receive full value from something you paid for. To use it so thoroughly that the price feels justified.
A gym membership. Went twice in 3 months, then calculated the cost per visit and felt deeply ashamed. The next 9 months, I went 4 times a week. I absolutely got my money's worth eventually. We arrived early and stayed late. We were getting our money's worth. A positive phrase.
Chunk 20. Live within your means. To spend only what you earn, not to exceed your financial capacity.
There was a period in my late 20s where I was maintaining a lifestyle my income did not support. It took looking at a credit card statement to understand how wide the gap had become. She made a decision to live within her means. Opposite. Live beyond your means.
Mini word tour. Repeat each one out loud.
Stick to a budget. Spend only what you planned. Cut back on. Reduce spending without stopping entirely.
Impulse buy. An unplanned purchase made in the moment. Break the bank. Cost far more than you can afford.
Tighten your belt. Spend less under financial pressure. Go Dutch. Split the bill equally between everyone.
Cost an arm and a leg. Be extremely expensive. Penny pinching. Excessively careful with small amounts of money.
Get your money's worth. Receive full value from what you paid. Live within your means. Spend only what you earn.
Stop quiz. 3 questions. Pause after each one and answer out loud.
Scenario. Your friend suggests a restaurant. You check the menu. The prices are 3 times what you expected and will seriously damage your budget this month. What do you say to your friend? That place costs an arm and a leg. You want to find somewhere that won't break the bank? Both chunks in one natural sentence.
Multiple choice. Which uses go Dutch correctly? A. They went Dutch by letting one person pay for everything. B. They went Dutch. Each person paid for exactly what they had ordered. C. She went Dutch by ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. Check B. Each person paid for exactly what they ordered. That is going Dutch.
Fill in the blank. He earns a good salary, but he spends slightly more than he earns every month. He is definitely not. Check living within his means. He is definitely not living within his means.
Stop 3. Saving and investing, including a concept that most English learners have never heard in natural English, but that affects every financial decision they make every single day.
Stop 3. Saving and investing.
The language of building for the future.
Chunk 21. Put money aside. To save a portion of your income deliberately. To separate it from spending money with a specific purpose.
A trip I saved for over 8 months. When I finally booked the flights, it felt different, like I had earned it twice. He puts money aside every month for his children's education. Set aside and put aside are interchangeable.
Chunk 22. A nest egg. A sum of money saved over a long period for the future, particularly for retirement or a major life event.
The gap between knowing you should have one and knowing how to build one is enormous for most people. The first step is just starting. Any amount, any account. The habit matters more than the number. After 30 years of work, she had built a comfortable nest egg, always long-term.
Chunk 23. Rainy day. Fund. Money set aside specifically for unexpected expenses or emergencies.
A medical expense I did not see coming. Having that buffer meant it was stressful, but not catastrophic. The difference between a problem and a crisis is often just a rainy day fund. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses as a rainy day fund for the unexpected, not planned purchases. Chunk 24. Return on investment, or ROI. How much you gain relative to how much you spent or invested.
Someone showed me a graph of my education's ROI over my career. The number was significant, but it took years to see it. ROI has a time dimension people often forget. The marketing campaign had an excellent return on investment. Knowing ROI makes you sound financially literate.
Chunk 25. Diversify. To spread your money across different investments so that if one fails, the others protect you.
A friend invested everything in one company's stock. It was not a sure thing. Everything was gone in 4 months. The lesson was expensive. A good investment strategy always involves diversifying. Related proverb: don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Chunk 26. Live off your savings. To use savings as your primary source of financial support. Savings covering daily expenses instead of income.
Between jobs once. 3 months. Watching the number in my account go down every week is a very different psychological experience from watching it go up.
She lived off her savings while building her business, always followed by the source. Chunk 27. Interest rate. The percentage charged on borrowed money or paid on saved money.
I fixed my mortgage at the wrong time. Rates dropped significantly a year later, and I was locked in at a higher rate for 3 years. Interest rates feel abstract until they directly affect what you pay every month. The central bank raised interest rates to control inflation.
Chunk 28. Compound interest. Interest calculated on both your original amount and the interest already earned. Money grows exponentially over time.
2 people investing the same amount monthly. One starts at 25, one at 40. By retirement, the earlier one has dramatically more. Not because they invested more, but because their interest earned interest for 15 extra years. Starting young is worth more than starting with more money later. Time is the variable.
Chunk 29. Financial cushion. A buffer of savings that protects you from financial shocks.
The car breaking down when I had savings felt like an inconvenience. The car breaking down when I did not felt like a disaster. The situation was identical. The difference was purely the cushion. Building a financial cushion should come before any investment strategy.
Chunk 30. In the black or in the red. In the black equals financially positive. In the red equals spending more than you earn.
The first month where my account ended with more than it started. A small surplus. But seeing the direction change felt disproportionately significant. The company finally moved back into the black after 2 difficult years. From traditional bookkeeping.
Mini word tour. Repeat each one out loud. Put money aside. Save a portion of income deliberately. La nest egg. Long-term savings built for the future.
Rainy day fund. Money saved for unexpected emergencies. Return on investment, or ROI. How much you gain relative to what you spent.
Diversify. Spread investments to reduce risk. Live off your savings. Use savings as primary financial support.
Interest rate. Percentage charged on borrowed or paid on saved money. Compound interest. Interest on both principal and accumulated interest.
Financial cushion. A buffer protecting against financial shocks. In the black / in the red, financially positive / financially negative.
Stop quiz. 3 questions. Pause after each one and answer out loud.
Fill in the blank. She does not touch the money she saves for retirement. It sits in an account, growing slowly but consistently over decades. She is building a blank. A nest egg. She is building a nest egg.
Scenario. You invest in 5 different companies, 2 property funds, and a savings account. You never put too much money in one place. Which chunk describes your strategy? You diversify, or you do not put all your eggs in one basket.
Multiple choice. A business was losing money for 2 years. This year it made more than it spent. Which phrase describes the change? A. It moved out of the black and into the red. B. It moved out of the red and into the black. C. It stayed in the red but felt better about it. Check B. Out of the red, where it was losing money, and into the black, where it is now making money.
Stop 4. Debt, hard times, and financial stress. Including chunk 33, the one that changes how you think about every financial decision you ever make. That is next.
Stop 4. Debt, stress, and hard times. The language of when money goes wrong. Chunk 31. In debt or go into debt. To owe more money than you have or can easily repay. To go into debt equals accumulating that obligation.
Student loans. The number was manageable, but knowing it existed changed how I made decisions for years. Debt is not just a financial condition. It occupies mental space. He went into debt to fund his business, which eventually paid off. In debt, always within.
Chunk 32. Debt-free. To owe nothing. No loans, no credit card balances, no financial obligations to anyone.
A friend described becoming debt-free as unexpectedly quiet rather than euphoric. Like a background noise they had learned to live with just stopped. They had not realized how much mental energy it was consuming until it was gone. She became completely debt-free after 5 years. Always hyphenated, debt-free.
Chunk 33. The special chunk, opportunity cost. The value of what you give up when you choose one option over another. Every financial decision has an opportunity cost.
You have £500. You spend it on a television. How much did the television actually cost? Not £500. £500 plus everything that money could have become if invested instead. The real cost is always higher than the price tag.
This phrase makes visible what is normally invisible. The cost of every choice includes what you gave up. Once you understand opportunity cost, you cannot make a financial decision the same way again.
And it goes beyond money. The opportunity cost of watching television is the book you did not read. The opportunity cost of one career is the other you did not pursue. Once you see it everywhere. The opportunity cost of buying an expensive car is the investment you could have made with that money.
Chunk 34. Stretched thin. Having money pulled in too many directions. Technically enough in theory, but every claim on it leaves you strained.
A month where 4 large expenses arrived simultaneously. Each one alone was fine. Together they consumed everything. Not poverty. A very specific kind of tightness. Many middle-income families are financially stretched thin despite earning reasonable salaries.
Chunk 35. Run up a debt. To accumulate a large amount owed, often quickly, often carelessly, often without noticing until the total is significant.
A hotel minibar for 3 nights. I did not look at the prices. The bill at checkout was extraordinary. She ran up significant credit card debt during a difficult period. Implies carelessness. Accumulates while you are not paying attention.
Chunk 36. Bail someone out. To rescue someone from a financial difficulty. Provide the money needed to resolve a crisis they cannot handle alone.
A family member. The love made it easy to say yes. The uncertainty about whether it would change the relationship made everything else complicated. Money between family is never just money. The government bailed out the banks during the financial crisis. Works for individuals, companies, and governments.
Chunk 37. Cash flow. The movement of money in and out of your finances. How much is coming in, how much is going out, and whether the timing works.
Freelance work. The invoice was sent. The payment was coming. It just was not here yet, and the rent was due. Cash flow problems are the frustration of being financially fine in theory, but not in practice right now. Small businesses often fail not because they are unprofitable, but because of cash flow problems.
Chunk 38. Tread water. To maintain your current financial situation without making progress. Covering expenses but not getting ahead.
The years when my income grew, but my expenses grew at exactly the same rate. On paper, everything was fine. In practice, nothing was changing. Treading water is not drowning, but it is not swimming either. Despite the pay rise, she felt like she was still treading water.
Chunk 39. The bottom line. The final financial result. Profit or loss after everything is accounted for. In everyday speech, the most important fact.
An accountant once cut through 20 minutes of complicated numbers and said one sentence that clarified everything. That single sentence was worth more than everything that came before it.
The bottom line is that we need to reduce costs by 15% to survive the next quarter. Chunk 40. Money doesn't grow on trees. One of the most famous English proverbs. Money is not unlimited or freely available. It must be earned through effort.
The first time I said this phrase, I heard my mother's voice coming out of my mouth. I think that is the moment you know you are an adult. Always in its full form as a proverb. One of the first money expressions children learn in English.
Mini word tour. Repeat each one out loud. In debt, owing more than you can easily repay. Debt-free, owing nothing to anyone.
Opportunity cost. The value of what you give up when making a choice. Stretched thin. Money pulled in too many directions.
Run up a debt, accumulate a large amount owed carelessly. Bail someone out, rescue someone from financial difficulty.
Cash flow. Movement of money in and out of your finances. Tread water. Maintain without making financial progress.
The bottom line, the final result or most important fact. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money must be earned through effort.
Stop quiz. 3 questions. Pause after each one and answer out loud.
Scenario: you take a job that pays well but leaves no time for anything else. 3 years later, you realize you gave up your health, your relationships, and your other ambitions. What financial concept describes what you actually paid for that salary? The opportunity cost. The real cost of that salary was everything else you gave up. The price tag was only part of what you paid.
Fill in the blank. The startup looked healthy. Revenue was strong. But clients paid invoices 60 days late while salaries were due monthly. The company had a serious problem. Cash flow problem. Strong revenue. Terrible timing. A cash flow problem.
Multiple choice. Which person is described correctly? A. She is treading water. Her career is advancing rapidly every year. B. He is treading water. His income and expenses grow at the same rate and he never gets ahead. C. They are treading water. They are drowning in debt. Check B. Same rate, never getting ahead. Treading water is not drowning. That is option C. There is a real difference. One more stop. The language of wealth, goals, and money mindset. Coming up.
Stop 5. Wealth, goals, and money mindset.
Wealth, goals, and money mindset. The language of building something bigger.
Chunk 41. Financial freedom. Having enough money that you no longer need to work just to survive. Your money works for you.
Someone described it as buying back your time rather than accumulating wealth. That reframe made it feel real for the first time. Freedom, not richness. Her goal was financial freedom by 50. Not luxury, just choice. Work becomes optional.
Chunk 42. Passive income. Money earned with minimal ongoing effort. Rental income, dividends, royalties, or any income stream that continues without your active time.
A small investment that pays dividends quarterly. The amount is not significant, but seeing money arrive that I did not directly work for that week changed something in how I think about money. Building passive income takes significant upfront work, but pays off over time.
Chunk 43. Strike it rich. To suddenly become wealthy. Through luck, a single opportunity, or an unexpected windfall.
A friend was offered early shares in a startup and said no because the salary was lower than her current job. The startup was acquired for a significant sum 4 years later. She does not talk about it much. He struck it rich when his small business was acquired. Always strike it rich, not get rich suddenly. Chunk 44, financially savvy. Having good practical knowledge and judgment about money. Smart decisions without necessarily being a formal expert.
My grandmother. No formal education beyond secondary school. She built a life of genuine security through discipline, common sense, and an intuitive understanding of value. The most financially savvy person I have ever known. She became financially savvy by reading widely and making small mistakes early. Always financially savvy.
Chunk 45, splurge on something. To spend more than usual on something you want. To treat yourself, going beyond your normal budget for a specific pleasure.
A hotel upgrade on a trip I had been planning for years. I looked at the price, thought for 30 seconds, said yes. It was perfect. Some splurges are completely worth it. The trick is knowing which ones. She splurged on a first-class ticket for her 40th birthday. Always implies something pleasurable, chosen deliberately.
Chunk 46, money talks. A proverb. Wealth and financial power have real influence. People with money get things done and get results, others cannot.
Trying to get a problem resolved as a regular customer versus as a premium account holder. The speed of response changed entirely. The problem was identical. Money talks. In business negotiations, money talks. The person with the bigger budget often wins. Slightly cynical but realistic.
Chunk 47, a golden opportunity. A rare, exceptionally good chance. Something that may never come again.
A property I could have bought years ago. Every time I drive past it, I think about that hesitation. Golden opportunities do not wait. That is part of what makes them golden. This is a golden opportunity we cannot afford to miss. Golden equals rare and precious.
Chunk 48, penny wise, pound foolish. Careful with small amounts of money but poor with large ones. Saving on small expenses while making poor decisions on big ones.
I spent months finding the cheapest coffee every morning, saving about 40 pounds a month. Then made a completely impulsive large purchase that wiped out a year of those savings in one afternoon. Penny wise, very pound foolish. She was penny wise, pound foolish, obsessing over grocery prices while ignoring her pension. Always this exact form.
Chunk 49, at any price or at all costs. Regardless of the financial or personal expense, fully committed to achieving something no matter what it costs.
A job that came at the cost of 2 years of almost no personal life. I wanted it at any price. I got it. The price was real. Whether it was worth it, I am still deciding. At any price equals more financial. At all costs equals broader. Both natural and interchangeable.
Chunk 50, money can't buy happiness. The most famous English proverb about money, material wealth, does not guarantee emotional well-being.
Financial security makes almost everything easier. And I have met genuinely unhappy people with no financial worries. The truth is more precise. Money cannot buy happiness, but the lack of it can cause real suffering. Security and happiness are related but not the same. They say money can't buy happiness, but financial security certainly helps.
Mini word tour. Repeat each one out loud.
Financial freedom. enough to no longer need to work just to survive.
Passive income, money earned with minimal ongoing effort. Strike it rich, become wealthy suddenly through luck or opportunity. Financially savvy, good practical judgment about money.
Splurge on something. Spend more than usual on something wanted. Money talks. Wealth has real influence and gets results.
A golden opportunity, a rare, exceptionally good chance. Penny wise, pound foolish, careful with small amounts, careless with large ones.
At any price or at all costs, regardless of the expense involved. Money can't buy happiness. Wealth does not guarantee well-being.
Stop quiz. 3 questions. Pause after each one and answer out loud. Scenario: Anna has investments that generate enough income to cover all her monthly expenses. She still works, but only because she wants to, not because she has to. What 2-word phrase describes her situation? Financial freedom. She has achieved financial freedom.
Multiple choice. Which person is penny wise, pound foolish? A. Someone who saves on small daily purchases and invests those savings consistently. B. Someone who obsesses over small savings but makes one huge impulsive purchase that wipes out everything saved. C. Someone who spends generously on both large and small things equally. B. Obsesses over small savings, makes one enormous poor decision. That is penny wise, pound foolish.
Combination challenge. Use 2 chunks from Stop 5 in one natural sentence. Pause, say your sentence, then hear ours. It was a golden opportunity, and she had worked for it at any price. Or, money talks, but money can't buy happiness, so choose your opportunities wisely. Any natural combination using the chunks is correct.
Listener story challenge.
Think of one financial decision, a purchase, a job, an investment, or something you did not do. Tell us its opportunity cost in the comments. Use "the opportunity cost was." We read every comment. Best answers featured in episode 6.
50 chunks, 5 stops, 5 mini word tours, 5 quizzes, and 1 listener challenge.
If you loved the money episode, go back and listen to our work and career episode. Episode 3. The language of earning connects directly to the language of spending and saving. The link is in the description. Stay cozy, stay financially savvy. See you in episode 6.